As you all know, Miss Wanda has been a pretty central figure in some of the latest reality TV conversations, especially with her interactions with Anthony Lofty. Now, if you're familiar with the situation, you know that this beef started a while ago when Anthony Lofty came to Miss Wanda's food truck launch event. What was supposed to be a simple celebration has now spiraled into a full-blown drama, with Miss Wanda, Anthony, and even Marcel involved. So let's break down exactly what's been happening and try to get a clearer picture of the events that have unfolded. The whole situation started when Miss Wanda invited Anthony Lofty to her food truck grand opening. Now, this event was actually being filmed, but Miss Wanda claims that her invitation to Anthony wasn't for filming purposes. It was just to celebrate the occasion with him. Anthony, on the other hand, had a different perspective. According to him, he asked multiple times if he was okay to attend, and Miss Wanda gave him the green light. It seemed like a simple, friendly invitation to him. However, things didn't go as smoothly as he expected. When Anthony arrived, he says that everyone seemed shocked to see him. According to him, people were acting like they saw a ghost when he walked in, and the production team was clearly taken aback. They didn't expect him there, and it seems like no one had communicated with him properly. To make matters worse, Anthony says he was pulled aside while on a work-related phone call, and security informed him that he wasn't allowed on the premises anymore. Now, Miss Wanda's version of events differs quite a bit from Anthony's. From her perspective, she claims that she had no idea what was going on behind the scenes with production. While she admits to inviting Anthony, she says that she never intended for him to be filmed. She even mentioned that the audio of her saying she told production about him might have been doctored. So we have two conflicting stories here. What's clear, though, is that things got heated. Miss Wanda said that if Anthony were really her friend, he could have just left the area while they filmed, but Anthony was frustrated by the whole situation. It seemed like he felt like Miss Wanda had thrown him into a confusing and difficult spot. And with all this tension, it's no surprise that this situation started to spiral. Now, fast forward to Miss Wanda and Anthony's fallout, and the situation has taken a turn with some behind-the-scenes drama. There's this content creator named Butterfly, who has been in the news recently because of her ongoing feud with Marcella, and she has thrown some serious accusations around. According to Marcella, Butterfly started talking about her family, and even her baby, which naturally led to some tension. But what's interesting here is that Marcella has been vocal about supporting Empress Radio, particularly in defending herself against Butterfly's comments. So, after all this, there was a big conversation on Lady D's platform, where Miss Wanda and Marcel both appeared to clear the air. Both of them, with their strong personalities, were able to talk about what had really gone down. Miss Wanda explained how her friendship with Anthony had evolved, and how, at one point, she had allowed him to stay close for Marcel's sake. She emphasized that, despite everything, she had never really liked him, but that she had been cordial. For Marcel's benefit, in a stunning turn of events, Miss Wanda admitted that she had actually invited Anthony Lofty to her event with the intention of setting him up. She said she wanted him to face some of the people from Bessemer who had grievances with him. This revelation came as quite a shock, especially since it had been unclear what Miss Wanda's true intentions were from the start. Apparently, Miss Wanda had family members who were upset with Anthony for the things he had said online, especially regarding Keke and other family matters. Wanda says that the plan was always to confront Anthony about these things, and if the situation escalated to a confrontation, so be it. She acknowledged that it could have become physical, but that wasn't something she was necessarily trying to avoid. It's clear that Miss Wanda was trying to orchestrate a confrontation, but the level of planning she put into it wasn't immediately clear. She invited him, but it wasn't just for friendly purposes. There were ulterior motives, and she wasn't upfront about those. In her mind, it seemed like Anthony needed to answer for the things he had said about her family and about people like Keke. Now, let's talk about the fallout between Miss Wanda and Marcel. Both of them have a lot of unresolved issues, and a lot of it seems to stem from how they handled things with Butterfly. Marcel had been hurt by Miss Wanda's involvement in the Butterfly situation, and there was a point where Wanda was advising Marcel to make up with Butterfly. In Wanda's mind, if she didn't like Anthony, she felt like Marcel shouldn't either. But Marcel felt the opposite. He argued that he could still be friends with Anthony, even if Wanda didn't like him. They both felt that each other should have stayed out of the other person's business. But it's clear that both of them were deeply involved in each other's relationships with others, whether they liked it or not. So, what does this all mean? Well, it seems like the tension between Miss Wanda and Marcel has reached a point where neither of them is willing to back down. There's a sense of mistrust, and both of them feel like they've been wronged by the other. It's a complicated family dynamic, and it doesn't look like either side is ready to make amends anytime soon. But even with all this drama, there's still some respect between Miss Wanda and Marcel. Wanda said that she'll always be open to talking to Marcel, even though Marcel hung up on her once. It's clear that there's a lot of emotional baggage in this situation, and it's not easy for either side to move forward, but at least there's still some hope for reconciliation, even if it's a long way off. As for Anthony Lofty, his role in all of this remains complicated. He was caught in the middle of a feud between Miss Wanda and Marcel, and it looks like things were never really going to be smooth between him and Miss Wanda. What started as a friendly invitation turned into a setup, and now both sides are pointing fingers at each other. The real question is, what happens next? Will Miss Wanda and Marcel continue to clash over their relationships with Anthony? Will Wanda's plan to confront Anthony over his past actions work out the way she hoped? And most importantly, will there ever be a resolution to all of this? For now, it seems like the situation is far from over. There are still a lot of unanswered questions, and the drama between these personalities will continue to make waves. But one thing's for sure, this situation has shown that even the most tightly knit families can have their struggles. Whether it's about personal relationships, financial matters, or family loyalty, it's clear that Miss Wanda, Marcel, and Anthony still have a long way to go before they find common ground. So, what do you think? Do you believe Miss Wanda had good intentions? Or do you think she was just trying to set Anthony up? Do you think Marcel should have stayed out of the situation with Butterfly, or was he right to defend himself? And what about the tension between Wanda and Marcel? Will they ever be able to repair their relationship? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think about this whole situation. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more updates, and I'll see you in the next video.